Hello everyone, this is Bhardwaj Priyanshu, group number 1921, first division, third year medical student from Institute the Medical Academy, named after S.I. Joski of Varnatsky CFU. My conference topic is traditional and modern information on the topography of the stomach and duodenum. I am guided by the Professor Igor Vladimirovich Zadny Priani. So, location and description. The stomach is the dilated portion of the alimentary canal. The stomach is situated in the upper part of the abdomen, extending from beneath the left costal margin region into the epigastric and umbilical region. Much of the stomach lies under cover the lower ribs. It is roughly J-shaped. Holotopy of stomach. The stomach is situated in the epigastrium and the left intercostal region. Scalotopy of stomach. The stomach stretches from the level of 11th thoracic vertebra to that of the first to second lumbar vertebra. Syntopy of stomach. Anterior stomach wall adjoins to the diaphragm, left lever lobe, the left pleura, lung and anterior abdominal wall. Posterior stomach surface adjoins to the lesser sac, the diaphragm, the spleen, the left suprarenal gland, the upper part of left kidney, the splenic artery, the pancreas and the transverse mesocolon and the transverse colon. Shape and position. In normal active person, its shape is somewhat J-shaped. In thin tall person, it's shaped horizontal, while in broad strong and very active person, its shape in horizontal. Size of stomach is 25 cm and the mean capacity is 1 ounce at birth, 1.5 cm in adults. Two orifices of the stomach. The cardiac orifice is joined by the lower end of the esophagus. It lies behind the left 7th costal cartilage, 2.5 cm from its junction within the sternum at the level of vertebra thoracic 11. The pyloric orifice open into duodenum in any empty stomach and it the supine position. It lies 1.2 cm to the right of the median plane at the level of lower border of thoracic 11 vertebra. Regions of stomach. The stomach has four main anatomical divisions: cardia, fundus, body and pylorus. The cardiac region. The cardiac orifice is where the esophagus enters the stomach, although no anatomic sphincter can be demonstrated here. If physiologic mechanism exists that prevent regulation of stomach contents into the esophagus. Pyloric region. The pyloric orifice is formed by the pyloric canal, which is about 2.5 cm long, the circular muscles. Coat of the stomach is much thicker here and forms the anatomic and physiologic pyloric sphincter. The pylorus lies on the transpyloric plane. Its position can be recognized by a slight constriction on the surface of stomach. The pyloric sphincter controls the rate of discharge of the stomach contents into duodenum. Layers of stomach wall. Mainly four layers are present in stomach: serous layer, tunica, serosa, or peritoneum. In serous layer there are three layers: mucosal layer, tunica muscularis, external layer, longitudinal fiber, middle layer, circular fiber, and internal layer, oblique fiber. And third layer is submucous layer, and fourth layer is mucous layer. Blood supply. Arteries. The lesser curvature supplied by the left gastric artery, a branch of the celiac trunk, and the right gastric artery, a branch of the proper hepatic artery. The greater curvature supplied by the right gastropapillary artery. Fundus is supplied by 5 to 7 short gastric arteries, which are also branch of the splenic artery. And the veins are drain into the portal, superior mesenteric and splenic veins. Right and left gastric vein drain into portal vein, right gastropapillary vein and in superior mesenteric vein, while left gastropapillary and short gastric vein terminate in splenic vein. The parasympathetic nerves are derived from the vagi through the esophageal plexus and gastric nerves. The anterior gastric nerve, made up of the one or two trunks, contain mainly only left vagal fiber. The posterior gastric nerve. The anterior gastric nerve divide into a number of gastric branches of the anterior surface of the fundus body of the stomach. Two pyloric branches, one of the pyloric antrum and another for the pylorus. The posterior gastric nerve divide into a smaller gastric branches of the posterior surface of the fundus, the body and the pyloric antrum, and B. larger coliac branches. For the coliac plexus, parasympathetic nerves are motor and secremotor through the stomach. Their stimulation causes increased motility of the stomach and secretion of gastric juice rich in pepsin and HC1. Lymphatic drainage. The stomach can be divided into four lymphatic territories as shown in the figure. The drain of Topography of duodenum. Location and description. The duodenum is a C-shaped tube about 25 cm long that joins our stomach to the jejunum. It is important because it receives the opening of the bile and pancreatic ducts. The duodenum curves around the head of the pancreas. The first 3 cm of the duodenum resembles the stomach in that is covered on its anterior and posterior surface with peritoneum and has the lesser omentum attached to its upper border of the greater omentum attached to its lower border. The lesser sac lies behind this short segment. The remainder of the duodenum is retroperitoneal, being only partially covered by peritoneum. Holotopy of duodenum projected on the proper epigastric and umbilical region. Now, scalotopy of duodenum is first to third lumbar vertebrae. Syntopy of duodenum is superior liver and gallbladder, inferior jejunum and posterior inferior vena cava and lateralis pancreas. Ligaments of duodenum. The ligament of Teretis, also known as suspensory ligament of duodenum, is a double fold or peritoneum suspending the duodenal flexure from the retroperitoneum. It is often used intrachargeably with duodenal flexure. The ligament of Teretis comprises two parts: accessory muscles, also known as Hif's muscles, and suspensory muscles of the duodenum. Blood supply of the duodenum. Arterial supply. The duodenum develops partially from the foregut and the partially from the midgut. The opening of the bile duct into the second part of the duodenum represents the junction of the foregut and midgut. Up to the level of the opening, the duodenum is supplied by the superior pancreatoduodenal artery and below it by inferior pancreatoduodenal artery. The first part of the duodenum receives additional supply from the right gastric artery, supraduodenal artery of Vicky, which is usually a branch of the hepatic artery, the retroduodenal branches of the gastroduodenal artery, and some other branches of the right gastropapillary artery. And the venous supplies from the vein is the duodenal drain into the splenic, superior mesenteric, and portal veins. Lymphatic drainage. Most of the lymph vessels from the duodenum and in the pancreatoduodenal node present along the inside of the curve of the duodenum at the junction of the pancreas and the duodenum. From here, the lymph pass partially to the hepatic nodes and through them to the celiac nodes and partially to the superior mesenteric nodes and ultimately via intestinal lymph trunk into the cisterna chyli. Some vessels from the first part of the duodenum drain into pyloric nodes. Nerve supply. Sympathetic nerve from thoracic 9th and 10th spinal segments and parasympathetic nerves from the vagus pass through celiac plexus and reach the duodenum along its arteries. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.